The government of Jamaica is almost doubling the allocation to the care element of the Serve Jamaica program with the additional allocation of $5 billion.
You heard the finance minister. Government is putting more resources into helping Jamaicans cope and recover from the economic shock caused by the pandemic. Welcome to Jamaica Magazine. I'm Adrian Atkinson. More on the CARE program and other initiatives to make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families and do business. Right after the break. Stick around.
Getting the first dose is not an excuse not to wear the mask, not to social distance or physical distance, not to sanitize. Getting the first dose is not justification for deciding that you're going to resume the parties, the gatherings beyond the limits that have been established. The journey is to observe the protocols, take the second dose when it is time, and then we will resume some semblance of normalcy once we achieve herd immunity.
Good day, I'm Lorraine Mendez and this is your JIS News for Tuesday, November 16. Another boost to government's crime-fighting arsenal was put into action on Friday as ground broke for the construction of a forensic pathology suite. The Kingston-based state-of-the-art facility is projected to cost $547 million and completed in January 2023. National Security Minister Dr. Horace Chang says this indicates the level of commitment to equipping the security forces to deal with crime in the 21st century.
And to operationalize this, we're going to spend another $1.3 million to provide Dr. Mowat and her team with the kind of equipment inside of that facility to ensure it can function as efficiently as it should.
The autopsy suite will bolster the work of the Institute of Forensic Science and Legal Medicine. It will provide pathologists and other members of the Institute with a kind of facility that will produce good quality forensics to assist crime fighting. Executive Director of the Institute, Dr. Judith Mowat, says its construction constitutes a major investment in forensic services.
This modern forensic facility will assist families who have lost loved ones, help to advance public safety within the country, and contribute to and strengthen the criminal justice system in Jamaica.
Still on crime fighting, on Friday, the Senate passed the Trafficking in Persons Prevention, Suppression and Punishment Amendment Act 2021. It was approved without amendment. Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of National Security, Senator Matthew Samuda, says work has continued under successive administrations to ensure that the country gets on top of this scourge of human trafficking.
The amendments being proposed are timely as they reaffirm Jamaica's commitment to the appraisal of the United Nations Global Plan of Action to Combat Trafficking in Persons and the strategic priorities of the government to criminalize trafficking in persons in all its forms, to disrupt and dismantle criminal networks involved in such crimes, and to forfeit their ill-gotten gains.
The act is being amended to remove the option of fines as a penalty for certain offences that are egregious in nature. It will also increase fines for the offence of threatening and obstructing a constable from $250,000 to $1 million. Additionally, the amended act creates a provision that empowers the minister by order subject to affirmative resolution to make amendments to monetary penalties.
We will make these amendments and continue to strive for the rooting out of trafficking in persons, certainly within Jamaica, and play our part in our region, not just because of international commitments, not just because it is a global scourge, but because of our own history and our own rejection of such crimes.
The Trafficking in Persons Prevention, Suppression and Punishment Act was passed in 2007 and amended in 2013 to increase the penalties. It was again amended in 2018 to enable a judge to try trafficking offences without a jury. The Director of Tourism, Donovan White, is reporting that Jamaica is now leading the world as the top contender for tourist arrivals. According to travel technology company Amadeus, Jamaica now leads the world in searches for destination air seat capacity recovery, international air passengers, as well as online booking through the global distribution system.
Bookings right now for the months of November, which is the month we just started, and December is already at 95% and 97% respectively in terms of compared to 2019 levels of room nights sold. The first 4 days of November, the current month we're in, we saw somewhere in the region of about 23,000 passengers delivered, visitors that is, averaging about 5,500 per day.
The demand for destination Jamaica now stands at 38%, while world demand is 24%. This is in comparison to 2019 data. The country's air seat capacity flown or scheduled is at 65%, international air passengers at 45%, and travel agents' bookings at 61%. 2019 was Jamaica's last full year of visitor arrivals since the COVID-19 pandemic and was therefore used to compare the estimated data. The Lionel Town Hospital in Clarendon has been gifted with a high-flow nasal cannula machine to treat COVID-19 patients who require oxygen. The life-saving machine, which values $1.4 million, was donated by a non-profit organization striving together, empowering mankind STEM. Senior officials at the hospital welcomed the donation, saying it will not only help to save lives if there's another COVID-19 surge, but will improve the hospital's quality of care to patients. And finally, more students in Western Kingston have benefited from a donation of 30 tablets and 6 laptops to schools in the area. Member of Parliament for the area, Local Government Minister Desmond McKenzie, who handed over the devices to the students last Friday, said the 6 laptops will be exclusively for high school students.
The tablets that we are giving you today is not a substitute for your learning. It is a tool to help to advance your learning capacity. It is for the purpose of your education. And we have students from schools in West Kingston, schools outside of West Kingston, but all of you are residents. You're born in West Kingston, you live here. And so we have to ensure that we provide for you.
Minister McKenzie says more students throughout the constituency will soon benefit from a further supply of 300 tablets. He says the donation was made possible through the constituency resource funding for the area. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Lorraine Mendez. Thanks for watching.
If you've ever wondered what your property taxes are used for, wonder no more. Your property taxes provide revenue for the provision of public and community amenities throughout Jamaica, which are delivered by local government officials. When you pay your property taxes, you aid with the maintenance and expansion of our street lighting to ensure you are not walking in the dark at nights, the collection and disposal of solid waste to prevent the pileup of garbage in communities, the improvement of our community infrastructure, and repairs to fire stations and service vehicles, along with rehabilitation of our roads. Pay your property taxes online, in line or via mobile tax units, and avoid being sought by the government. For more information, visit the Tax Administration website at www.jamaicatax.gov.jm or call 876-902-9463.
National security and other critical issues demanded the Prime Minister's attention and intervention in the past week. And we have the highlights right now.
On this week's edition of Jamaica House Weekly, we share a special report from Prime Minister Andrew Holness as he takes decisive action in dealing with crime and violence on the island. I'm Vaughn Davis. Stay tuned.
States of public emergencies were declared in the police divisions of St. James, Westmoreland, and Hanover. These three are termed the tri-parish SOEs. And in the corporate area, the St. Andrew South Police Division, the Kingston West Police Division, the Kingston Central Police Division, and the Kingston East Police Division.
Prime Minister Andrew Holness made that declaration on Sunday, sharing that states of public emergency were in effect for 7 police divisions that cut across 5 parishes.
We have decided to recommend the declaration of SOEs, having regard to the increase in murders compared year on year, both in the communities in which we have declared them and nationally. And these increases we consider to be of an extensive scale, such that they threaten public safety, both in the communities in which the SOEs have been declared and nationally.
Mr. Holness revealed that all police divisions named as part of the state of public emergency have seen increases in violent crimes.
All have murder rates per 100,000 in excess of the regional average, which is 15%. In fact, the murder rate per 100,000 in these divisions range from a low of approximately 47 per 100,000 to 190 per 100,000.
As at November the 12th, 2021, our serious crime data shows that we have an increase in murder. Shootings have remained largely flat, but other crimes are trending downwards. What this means is that we have a violence problem.
Since the start of the year, murders have increased by 10%, with gang violence accounting for 70% of all murders. Another 19% of these crimes are caused by persons' inability to resolve personal differences without violence. As of November 12, there were 1,240 murders, with 392 occurring across the 4 police divisions in Kingston and St. Andrew. Of the 1,100 persons shot and injured since the start of the year, 391 victims were also from the police divisions in Kingston and St. Andrew. Over in the tri-parish divisions of Westmoreland, Hanover and St. James, 272 Jamaicans were victims of gun violence. The tri-parish police divisions also saw 214 persons being shot and injured since the start of the year.
The imposition of states of public emergency regulations in particular spaces does not remove or detract from any other policing methods that will be used and have been employed recently against these highly violent offenders.
The security situation has proven to be well beyond the sphere of normal routine policing, and the JDF can more effectively assist the JCF if we have the powers we have requested.
The corporate area SOE boundaries encompass Belvedere to Ferry, the foot of Red Hills, Perkins Boulevard and Bolines Road, Hagley Park Road, Bay Farm Road, O'Mara Road and Chisholm Avenue, Slipe Road, South Camp and Deanery Roads, as well as Mountain View Avenue. The boundary continues in the east on the border of St. Andrew and St. Thomas, to the south and west towards the border of St. Catherine and St. Andrew. In western Jamaica, the boundaries extend to the borders of Westmoreland and St. Elizabeth, as well as St. James and Trelawney.
We're all working towards a common goal of ridding Jamaica of crime and recognizing that this can only be achieved through unified and direct effort. Crime affects all Jamaicans, and we can all play our part.
We are confident by staying this course, we will break the back on the scourge of crime, of violence in Jamaica. This is the commitment of the government of Jamaica, to the people of Jamaica and the residents in the affected communities. I am not only optimistic, I am confident if the security forces are given the requisite tools in terms of both their personnel, institutional reform and development, and required legal tools, as we are now doing with the state of public emergency and several other pieces of legislation, we will win this war against criminal violence.
I have a duty to look for the rights of the Jamaican citizen, the innocent Jamaican citizen, who is entitled to their safety and to their life.
Persons wishing to assist the security forces in ridding the island of this violence monster may call 311 or 876-837-8888. And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Be sure to join us next time for more of the news stories coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.
Register your alma mater for the Forestry Department's My Tree Legacy promotion and be a part of the preservation of Jamaica land we love. St. Catherine High past student Prime Minister Andrew Holness recently participated in the initiative.
It is not just because it sounds like a very nice thing to do to plant trees. It is a very real strategic response in being a responsible government, a responsible nation, a caring nation about our planet and our atmosphere and our climate and our environment to plant trees.
Let us highlight your contribution to the My Tree Legacy promotion by submitting videos or pictures of you leaving your mark. Every tree counts. Plant a tree today and keep climate change away.
When the pandemic shuttered businesses locally and globally last year, many were left floundering, struggling to keep not just health, but their finances in check. The COVID allocation of resources for employees, CARE, is one of the vehicles government has designed to drive the recovery of business buoyancy and the economic welfare of Jamaicans. Up next, the Finance Minister gives an update on the program.
Greetings, my fellow Jamaicans. The government of Jamaica is almost doubling the allocation to the CARE element of the Serve Jamaica program, with the additional allocation of $5 billion as announced in the first supplementary estimates. There will be several grants. There will be an automatic grant of $10,000 for all path heads of household. This is estimated to reach 130,000 Jamaicans at a cost of $1.3 billion. The CARE NIS grant. This will provide an automatic grant of $10,000 for NIS pensioners who are in receipt of an NIS pension of less than or equal to $10,000 per month. This is estimated to reach approximately 57,000 Jamaicans at a total cost of approximately $570 million. We'll introduce the CARE Social Pension Grant. This will provide an automatic grant of $10,000 for all Jamaicans 75 years and older who have qualified for a social pension. This is estimated to reach approximately 5,000 Jamaicans at a total cost of approximately $50 million. The Ministry of Finance has made allocations for disbursements for the CARE Social Pension Grant to be paid in November and the CARE Path Grant and CARE NIS grants to be paid in December. The Ministry of Labour and Social Security will disburse these grants. We'll introduce another CARE Set Cash grant. This will provide an automatic grant of $18,000 for all persons who qualified for the June 2021 Set Cash grant and who have still not re-entered the workforce as evidenced by Tax Administration Jamaica records as at September 30th, 2021. Based on the last Set Cash payout, we are making allowances for 30,000 such persons at a total cost of approximately $540 million. We'll be introducing the CARE Workers Grant. The government of Jamaica understands that working people on lower incomes are also impacted by this environment. For this reason, we'll be introducing for a first time the CARE Workers Grant of $10,000. All working people in the PAYE system who have a gross weekly salary of $15,000 per week or less, or an annual salary of $780,000 per year or less, and all self-employed persons with statutory income equivalent to $780,000 per year or less, as at the last annual filing, will be eligible. This information will have to be verified by Tax Administration Jamaica as a confirmation of eligibility. There will need to be an application for this grant, as we do not have addresses or bank account information for this group of persons. Applications will therefore open at wecare.gov.jm at the beginning of December. Detailed instructions will be available on the website. In aggregate, the government of Jamaica expects up to 352,000 Jamaicans to benefit at a total cost of approximately $3.8 billion. Many vulnerable persons are not in any of the formal databases of PATH, of the National Insurance Scheme, of Tax Administration Jamaica, or the new social pension. They are in the informal economy. The government of Jamaica intends that they too will be included. As such, the central government will partner with other institutions to deliver $1 billion in care food packages over the 4-month period, December 2021 to March 2022. We expect over 200,000 care food packages to be delivered over this time period. My fellow Jamaicans, the COVID-19 pandemic has delivered an unprecedented shock all across the world. The government of Jamaica is taking tangible steps to provide additional support to vulnerable Jamaicans at this time as we all work to recover stronger.
For Jamaica's economy to rebound from the pandemic, new ideas have to be employed, while old ones are refined in almost every sector. Tourism is no exception. As we bask in recent projections for the island to welcome 1.5 million visitors and earn an estimated $1.9 billion by year end, let's examine one of the strategies that have gotten us to this point.
Unprecedented times call for unprecedented moves. With a $1.5 billion loss to the tourism industry, government has adopted an age-old business strategy to engineer a rebound of Jamaica's #1 foreign exchange earner.
The strategic framework for resetting Jamaica's tourism will be guided by the Blue Ocean Strategy, which will allow us to meet our growth targets of 5 million visitors, earning $5 billion, and to provide 5,000 new rooms by 2025.
Economists have for years touted the benefits of the Blue Ocean Strategy. This business model is about creating and capturing new demand in non-existent areas. It is establishing new markets to the point of changing the desires of consumer demand. This act can differentiate a player in an industry and eliminate the competition. This is the current strategy of Jamaica's Ministry of Tourism to reclaim and exceed what it has lost during the pandemic.
A Blue Ocean Strategy calls for the creation of business models that depart from the traditional models based on head-to-head competition and gaining market share. Instead, it will see our ministry pursuing enhanced value creation through production differentiation and diversification.
The Tourism Ministry is known for developing innovative responses to crises, which often garner global recognition. The Tourism COVID-19 Resilient Corridor Program, established in the height of the pandemic and allowed for controlled movement within tourism-dependent locations, received commendations from the UNWTO. The moniker Gen Z Traveler, coined by the ministry to describe vacationers whose experiences and expectations have been shaped by the health and safety risks of the pandemic, is being used by international stakeholders. The Tourism Ministry expects that its Blue Ocean Strategy will receive similar accolades and reap tremendous rewards for the island.
It will require a shift in the mindset as we seek to uncover hidden opportunities in the tourism industry amid the COVID-era economic crisis.
The implementation of the Tourism Blue Ocean Strategy consists of a 6-step plan: expanding markets and go-to-market channels, developing new tourism products, expanding tourism community focus, maximizing linkages across all local industries, promoting resilience and sustainability, and providing destination assurance.
This new strategy, the Blue Ocean strategy we're talking about, is focusing now on how to build the capacity of the Jamaica economy to supply the goods and services that the industry needs, and in so doing reduce the outflow of dollars into other destinations.
Only 40 cents of every tourism dollar is retained in the country, while just 20% of tourism agricultural demand is supplied locally.
The study that we have done so far indicate that agriculture, just for fresh fruits and vegetables alone, has a demand of 67 billion Jamaican dollars. And on the manufacturing side, there is a demand already established for $360 billion.
To plug the gap, the Blue Ocean strategy will focus on expanding the work of the Tourism Linkages Network. Committees and working groups have been formed to work closely with resorts and hoteliers.
In this new Blue Ocean strategy, we are going to change the production and consumption patterns of tourism in favor of a heavier level of retention of the US dollar in the Jamaican space, and in the process create more jobs. This resetting of the industry is to broaden its scope and activities, to enable a wider breadth of employment opportunities, and also to expand the variety of skill sets that are attendant on tourism activities. It is to make the world and Jamaica understands better how a real tourism economy can in fact be structured, and why is it that tourism remains the most critical restoration action that any economy can embrace.
This is where the show wraps today. It has been a pleasure sharing your company. For more on what's happening in our little corner of the world, come back tomorrow. Another Jamaica Magazine will be published, same time on this station. Of course, all our programs are uploaded to the JIS YouTube channel and our website, jis.gov.jm. Visit us there and on all the major social media platforms. Until next time, I'm Adrian Atkinson on behalf of the entire production team, saying thank you so much for your company and do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.